Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Kohn. A Busby man found guilty of first-degree murder in the strangulation and burning death of Roy Lynn Ride's horse. In fact, it took a federal jury less than 2 hours to return with that guilty verdict against 20-year-old DiMarzio Sanchez. The verdict delivered after days of testimony about the gruesome assault that left Roy Lynn Ride's horse dead. Q2's Asia Gore has been covering this case since the beginning, was in the courtroom this afternoon when the verdict was pronounced.
Well, Jay, during closing arguments today, defense attorneys placed the blame on 2 others at the scene that fateful night, but jurors agreed with prosecutors that DiMarzio Sanchez was the ringleader. Jurors could have convicted Sanchez of second-degree murder, which does not require the intent to kill, but the jury determined Sanchez strangled and burned Roy Lynn Ride's horse, knowing it would end her life. Each of the 5 people in the vehicle with the victim that night gave a different version of the story, making it difficult to sort out the facts. We do know Ride's horse got into the vehicle with her 3 assailants at the Kirby Saloon, and later that night she suffered a brutal assault. Jurors believe it was Sanchez who doused the victim with gasoline and then set her on fire. Defense attorneys, though, pointed the finger at his co-defendants, Frank Sanchez and Angelica Whiteman, who have already admitted their roles in the murder. Today, after the jury delivered its guilty verdict, the victim's family hugged the lead investigator. The victim's sister tells me her death is a loss not only to her family and the Crow tribe, but those who never got the chance to meet Ride's horse.
Roy Lynn was sweet. Roy Lynn was innocent. Roy Lynn was a mother. Roy Lynn was a daughter. She was a sister. And she was a caregiver. She loved everyone. She didn't have an enemy. She was the most beautiful person you could ever know. She had such natural beauty. And today we just rejoice with her. You know, we know that she's in the heavenly realms with our Father, and we rejoice with her that justice was served today.
Sentencing is set for March. Sanchez faces up to life in prison. Jay?
All right, thank you very much, Asia. Well, Billings shoppers have one less sports outlet this holiday season. As we first told you last night, the owners of Big Bear Sports say the cleanup from an armed standoff that took place in their King Avenue store last month will simply take longer than they had hoped. Today, we're able to take a look inside the store, but we're allowed only to take footage of the front entryway. Co-owner Brett Taylor tells us his staff just finished taking a full inventory, which took nearly a week. And despite making steady progress on the repairs, Taylor says there's still a lot to be done. Even though the incident means missing out on the busiest time of the year, he remains positive.
Big hit to us. I mean, it's our busiest time of the year, as I'm sure it is for a lot of businesses, the holiday season. But the biggest thing is we're trying not to focus on that. We're trying to put all of our focus into the future.
Taylor says one of the most difficult parts of the process has been figuring out exactly what was damaged and to what extent. Taylor did pledge to provide updates on the store's Facebook page about the store's reopening. Sexual misconduct allegations forcing 2 members out of office in Congress today. Minnesota Senator Al Franken took to the Senate floor this morning to announce his pending resignation, but he did so taking a renewed shot at President Trump, saying while he's leaving office, a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault sits in the Oval Office. Franken is accused of groping multiple women. The latest claim, though, he denies. And then later today, 8-term Arizona Republican Congressman Trent Franks announced he also will step down by the end of January, this following alleged misconduct with female staffers. Tens of thousands of homes threatened in Southern California tonight, forcing new evacuation orders. Earlier this evening, California Governor Jerry Brown declared an emergency in San Diego County, where officials are now warning that conditions are expected to worsen. CBS's Danielle Nottingham reports now from Ventura.
Crews battling the lilac fire in San Diego County are trying to minimize the damage, but this house is already gone.
We have crews surrounded this whole area. We're going to make a stand and we're going to protect all the ones that we can.
Officials are advising residents in Lilac's path to be prepared to move.
We have 20 structures that have been destroyed. I expect that that number will go higher.
Several major wildfires are consuming parts of California. Flames tore through trees and brush on the 101 in Ventura County, shutting down stretches of one of the busiest freeways in America.
It's definitely looks like Armageddon went off here.
Mike Stevens has been hosing down his home, trying to protect it.
All the ambers that are coming across from the hills, it's only obvious that it could start, no problem.
But firefighters are advising residents not to take matters into their own hands.
Stuff that burns is not good for you, so just the whole thing is just not safe.
Hundreds of homes have already been lost and thousands more are in jeopardy. But now officials say they've made good progress here in Ventura County. The Thomas Fire has creeped into Los Padres National Forest.
A lot of vegetation out here, and the flames are going to continue to burn.
An estimated 1 million people are affected by the poor air conditions.
I think safety is always a big challenge, and then the wind-driven fire. It's tremendous.
Officials warn heavy winds and dry air could prolong conditions here for weeks. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Ventura, California.
Scary situation down there on the local weather scene tonight. Well, it doesn't look or feel anything like December, Bob. What's with this mild conditions we're having?
It's your classic sine wave weather pattern we see this time of year. What happens is half of the country is warm, like in California, and the other half is kind of cold, like what they're seeing in the Great Lakes. Let me show you. As you can see, here's what's going to happen. Here's where we are tonight. The warm air continues on the West Coast, while the cold air continues in the New England states and also the Great Lakes states. But watch what happens. By Friday, we're still pretty warm. We stay that way all the way through Saturday, even into Sunday and Monday. We still keep that nice ridge of high pressure over us at warm temperatures, while the cold air continues to be stuck up in the Great Lakes and New England states. Now, eventually by Tuesday and Wednesday, the warm air starts sliding to the west, and the cold air eventually starts making its way from the New England states through the Great Lakes and all the way back into Montana, probably sometime in about 10 days or so. Maybe by December 15th, it'll start to feel a little bit more like winter around here. Jay?
All right, thank you, Bob. Metro Park Management expects as many as 8,000 people to attend Saturday night's concert by the rock band Foo Fighters. For the group to play here in Billings, the band's promoter asked for an upgrade in security. Q2's David Jay joining us now with those details. David?
Well, Jay, for some recent concerts, Metro Park Security used wands to scan people at events, but now we'll use walk-through scanners in the lobby before fans enter the Rimrock Auto Arena. The Foo Fighters will arrive Saturday with 17 semis and 15 buses. Metro Park General Manager Bill Dutcher says no scanners were available to rent or borrow, so Yellowstone County Commissioners quickly approved spending $50,000 for the 12 devices. Dutcher says without the machines, the Foo Fighters would not be playing in Billings.
It's a big show, and they obviously aren't taking it lightly. We feel, as the commissioners did, it was a very good investment. It's not the last time that will be required in this stage of security nationwide with different things going on. And now Yellowstone County, Rimrock Auto Arena, we own those at Metro Park.
And also cameras, recording devices, weapons, bottles or containers, projectiles, and laser pointers will not be allowed at the concert. Parking will be the same as what it was used for the Garth Brooks concerts. The Foo Fighters had one date available, and for Metro Park Management to make it happen, moved the last day of the All-American Indian Shootout to Rocky. Jay?
All right, thanks, David. Well, still ahead on tonight's 10 o'clock news, an alternative to narcotics just approved by the FDA. We'll bring you those details coming up. Plus, it's time to check out how you can make an impact in students' lives in your community. And tonight in sports, Scott shows us what happens in tonight's opening round in Vegas at the NFR.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Kohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.